I just want a tall, nice, goofy boyfriend, Jim Halpert, IRL. And all I keep getting sent is these fucking assholes.
Time to do some soul search.
I haven't seen anyone talk about this, so let's talk. You know when you go through a heartbreak and they tell you, time to hit the gym, time to lock in. What if I've been hitting the gym for years? And what if I met him at the gym? What then? What comes next? Because, yeah, that's me.
My New Year's resolution is to stop dating. I'm done. I've tried for the past 2 years to date and connect with other people, and it has been a battlefield out here, okay? Like, whether I'm hurting someone, someone's hurting me, it hasn't led to good feeling. Of course, like everybody else, I want to be connected and I want to fall in love, but that's not happening for me, and I'm tired. Like, even though I want those things, I would be okay being alone for the rest of my life. I know that sounds crazy, but I would. Like, I think I'm just gonna fold into that era because there's too much emotion that comes along with these relationships, and I'm not built for it, guys.
Today I had 2 different men offer to pay for my coffee. When I woke up this morning, I was in a terrible mood. My boyfriend slipped me $7 and went, go treat yourself to an overpriced coffee. Then I get to work, I tell my coworker I'm gonna go get a coffee. He gives me his credit card and goes, go get one for me too and I'll treat you to yours. And to think I used to be this crazy feminist, I'm a strong, independent woman, I don't need no man to provide for me. Oh, but I love men providing for me. Oh my God, give me money.
Dating apps are weird for multiple reasons, but this is probably the weirdest one. So dating apps are weird because you start collecting new social media followers. It's just like you're collecting followers, okay? So they'll talk to you on the app and then they're like, let's transfer over to Instagram. This app is weird. I'm not really here much. And then you're like, okay, fine. So then you transfer over to Instagram and then nothing happens. Nothing comes of it. They don't slide in your DM. You're just following a new person. You're just literally following a stranger that you know nothing about. And then one day you're going through all your stories and you have all these new stories because you have all these new followers. So you're going through all these stories, you're watching all these highlights, and it's just random men. And you're like, this man's on a date with another woman, but he never asked me on a date. Should I unfollow him or should I keep him in my back pocket for later? But if I keep him for later, why would I do that when I don't even have him now? He never even asked me out now. Why would I save him for later? Should I unfollow him? What the fuck? And then you just keep doing that. And that just keeps happening. And then you have new followers every day.
Somebody in the comments said connected with a guy on Bumble, then IG, and watched him get into a relationship, then have a baby. He never asked me out. Congratulations, my man.
So when you meet a guy and then you're at dinner with your friend and you could have sworn he was like super good looking.
He looks like the Grinch.
Like molted. I can't even make it through the video.
They have a weird Joker laugh going on.
I like really didn't think I dated all that much, and then I keep seeing people's like, oh, 2024 dating wrapped. It's like 3 first dates, 2 kisses, 1 situationship, and I'm like, that's it? I did that last week. I feel like the Jeffrey Dahmer of dating, Jesus. Also, I have the flu, so I sound like a 75-year-old smoker. Don't come for me.
That ain't the flu. You need to go get that checked out.
My friend just texted that her man's asked her to be his girlfriend. Hey, that's awesome. Hey, another girlfriend in the group chat. Hey, me next. What? What?
It is totally acceptable to date multiple people at one time, even if you're looking for monogamy. However, that doesn't sit well with a lot of people. Now, there's many perks to why you would want to date multiple people before committing to one person. But if you're an avoidant attachment, this can also lead you to never committing. And there are ways to date multiple people that is ethical before you become exclusive or have that talk with someone. But I want to know, like, what do you think? Like, would you date multiple people and why or why not?
As dudes in the comments saying, if you date multiple people, I am no longer interested.
I have a first date tonight, and on her dating profile, she said she only dates dudes who are smart with money. So to impress her, I canceled the date.
If you were in a serious relationship or marriage, would you be okay if your partner was on a dating app, but the dating app had a section where it was like for work and networking, and they were only using it to make work connects and friends, but they still have to open up the app and use the dating app because it's like an all-in-one type thing. For example, Bumble has a friends section and also a Bumble date section, and you just switch back and forth. The app that I'm talking about is not Bumble. It's a different dating app. This app specifically has a lot of models, actresses, famous people, just like a lot of good looking people. So would you be okay if your man was on that dating app for work? Can't give more details, but that's about it.
Maybe not, but a lot of times, even if you go on that friend's side of things, people might still get the wrong idea just because. I tell a story, man. I was on a dating app and I was like, man, you know what? Forget these women. So I was like, man, let me just find some dudes to kind of hang out with. Man, we just hang around town, man, go get something to eat or just hang out, man. Go to one of these driving ranges or something like that. Get a group of fellas to go out and just connect, like network, like you're talking about. I did that and then I didn't. Man, one of the dudes on there was like, hey, so you like me? I was like, what? and he was, the first thing he said to me was like, you look good. I was like, yeah, okay. You look good too, bro, man. You got some style. Cause I thought he just meant, hey man, like I see you cutting up, man. I see you a good looking brother, man. I was like, hey man, I appreciate that, man. Make these women recognize. So, yeah, man, went and added him on Instagram and all that stuff, man. I was like, hey man, let's keep it up. Hey, let's keep in touch, man. Man, you got something that you want to do? Hang out, man. Let me know. You know, I'll come across to your side of town, man. Hey, as a matter of fact, let's make this better. I literally said this. Let's make this better. Let's get a group of fellas, man. You know some guys. You get your hey, man, like, let's get out the house. Like, let's get a group of fellas out. Let's get out the house. Let's go do something in town, man. We don't, instead of sitting inside doing nothing, man, let's go hang out. Bowling, axe throwing, riding go-karts. Let's go get out, man, and just get on the town, man. Stop worrying about these ladies, man. And he really, I found out he wasn't worried about the women in the first place. I think it took like maybe a couple of times. Cause he was like, hey man, let me know what's up. Like, I think he said like, why did you hit me up for real? And I was like, I just told you. Cause I just told him, hey man, I'm just looking to connect, with fellas, man, and go hang out. That's literally what I'm looking to do, man. Go hang out instead of sitting in the house all the time. Let's go hang out, man. And he's like, really, what'd you want? I was like, I don't understand that question. It's kind of a dumb question to me. And then I was like, nah, man, I ain't looking for nothing like that. And I said, okay. So I left it, come back a little bit later on, man. And, you know, one of my stories, he was like, LOL, you look cute. I was like, block. So suffice it to say, I stopped going on that section because I was like, oh, wait a minute. I don't know if these guys want to be like actual friends. They want to like be more than friends. And they're like, oh man, this is the only way I can look for dudes, I guess. I was like, that's kind of weird. But anyway, just want you guys to be careful out there. Why don't men protect and provide? Why don't men help women out anymore?
This one is for the ladies. I really need to send out this PSA because it's so important. I work with a lot of very healthy, very demure, very virtuous ladies, and you are very desirable to a lot of the men that I work with and the men out there for a potential marriage-minded relationship. However, this is something that you get wrong and that causes problems in the vetting process. You have to realize that men are not like women. Men do not just want to chit-chat and banter for hours with you to be friendly. So don't get confused if a man is reaching out to you to talk and he's sweet and he's not being overtly intentional about pursuing you yet. He's just sort of building rapport. This is the very early stages of vetting. But you may need to make sure that you are not in the mindset that this is a friend thing. whether or not you're initially attracted to them. Sometimes it takes like that awareness that they're pursuing vetting you romantically. So just keep in mind, men do not want to chat to women for hours unless they are interested in you romantically. So keep that in mind and make sure that you're clear about what you want or don't want. If you're not interested in them at all, then say so and let them down gently. Be kind. But if you're open to being vetted for or vetting them romantically, be receptive and be responsive. But recognizing that this is something to take more seriously is important.
People ask me what's the worst part about being single at your age, and without a doubt, the absolute worst thing, especially if you live by yourself, which I currently do, the worst thing is that when the Brita has not been refilled, you can only blame yourself. You try to get mad at the other person, but there's no other person, it's only you. And so you have to it just makes you face your demons.
Dating in your 30s is basically meeting a cute guy, kind of having a vibe with him asking for your number, then asking you on a date, you saying, yeah, sure, why not? And then right before the date and the entire day leading up to it, you dying to cancel because you just showered and you just want to get in bed and watch Housewives and never speak to this random stranger ever again. But instead, you put on your mascara, you go meet up with him for hot chocolate from Earth Cafe. I don't know. I said I was going to do dry January today as maybe a potential get out of the date card. And then he's like, no, I don't drink, period. So now we're getting cookies and hot chocolate. But yeah, that's being 30.
Seems like a cute date. Cold weather, hot chocolate, cookies. It's a nice little story.
I went out with this guy a couple weeks ago. I met him at a restaurant originally in the city. He lives in Italy. Not ideal. He's been really sweet and following up with me. So I was like, let me give it a chance. We meet and he was really sweet. He was really nice. He's attractive. There's a few things I didn't like. The most obvious little thing being that he didn't open the door for me, going in or out. I opened the door and I actually held the door for him. He did not seem to notice at all. And I'm assuming this is just a European culture thing. He just doesn't do that. If the guy doesn't open the door for you on the first date, it's kind of a deal breaker.
There's a dude in the comments said, plan on opening doors for the men after you turn 30.
Straight up, one of my problems is don't want to be mean to people that talk to me in bars. So I talk to them. And then people fall in love with me. What am I supposed to do?
And then you woke up.
I don't know if anyone else is experiencing this in their life, but it just dawned on me that I've been single for 5 years. 5 years. This is the longest I've ever been single in my entire adult life. And nobody is piquing my interest. Nobody. I watched 10 Things I Hate About You today, and I was like, you know what we're all missing? We're missing feelings. We're missing emotion. We're missing pining. We're missing attraction. Is it because everybody is on something? What is going on?
If I have learned one thing about being single in my 40s, it's that I'm not girlfriend material. I'm wifey material. I'm wifey material because I've been married twice. 2 times. 22 years total. 16 the first time, 6 the second. Well, total with the men. But I'm not meant to be single. I'm not meant to be alone. I am not meant to be by myself. I'm meant to be with a partner. Not because I'm codependent on them, but because I enjoy it. I like going out and doing things. I like having someone to bounce conversation off of. I like sitting next to somebody and holding their hand. I am not oh, you want to go do your own thing for 2.5 weeks and come back and then we go out and we do something for a day and then I go home and you go. I don't want any of that shit. I want 24 hours all the time. Let's go do something. Let's go to coffee. Let's go to the grocery store. I like that stuff. And again, it's not a codependency because I can do all that shit on my own. It's literally just, I enjoy it. I enjoy the feeling. I enjoy having somebody with me. And I think that just us in general, humans in general, have a natural instinct to be with a partner. They have a natural draw to be in a relationship with someone. And we've just strayed so far from that everybody wants to be like socially inept and isolated, and they don't want to deal with other people because they're afraid to deal with themselves and all of the monsters and the crap that they've held on to for so many years. I want to be a wife again.
Don't you think it's time we talked about women faking it? And now, when I say it, you know what I mean, right? We mean that, right? I tend to more often than not, but yes, I do agree with you. And he was responding to a woman that said that most men don't know how to get women there. Look, I think some men know this, but maybe not enough men know this. Pretty much all women at one point or another have faked it, right? And, you know, sometimes they do it with good intentions. If, you know, she's just not going to get there and, you know, things need to wind up, you know. And then sometimes it is with the intention of similar idea. I need this to be done because you've been coerced into it. Because if you don't do it, you're going to have a big argument, you know, on your hands. So you do it, and then you pretend to like it so that they can finish and it can at least be done until next time. Okay? At every point in our lives, we have done it for one reason or another. Men don't realize it, and they won't.
I don't know what it is in my spirit. I'm just watching her talk and I'm like, shut up. What are you talking about? Just like miserable person. Just shut up.
You know how it's like a trend where women will go to the gym and they'll be wearing pants that show their ass, and they'll film a guy at the gym who's like just doing curls or something, and they're like, oh, look at this perv, he won't stop looking at me. And then I'll get someone like Joey Swole will repost it and be like, this guy was just working out, like, what's wrong with you? Dude, one thing I will never do is assume, okay? Makes an out of you and as Blink-182 used to say. But dude, you have to hit me in the face with a brick of being interested in me. You want to know, whenever I pick up on that you are interested in me, a decade later, it dawns on me. The only way I know you're interested in me is if you're like, do you want to go on a date to this place? Then I'm like, okay. Otherwise, I think you want to be friends, dude. In fact, there was one, now that I'm thinking about it, like 5 years ago, took me out to dinner, and I was like, oh, he just wants to be friends. They don't want to be friends if it take you out to dinner, Della.
It's weird because most modern women would say, actually come up to me and make a move, be bold. Okay, then you be bold enough to make a clear move to let me know that you're interested.
So maybe when you guys like stories, like you men, it doesn't mean anything. But you should know, when us women, we like your stories, especially if it's a selfie, you already won. That's what it means.
I turned 32 this year, and I was talking to my mom about like the potential idea of maybe looking into like my fertility, freezing my eggs. I'm never someone who has been like dead set on like, I need to be a mom, like that is my purpose here on earth. But I also don't know if part of that was always just like, okay, well, like I'm still young, I have time, like there's still the option for it. But as we creep up on 32, it's starting to get me to think, okay? I'm a single girly, I have no prospects. Tell me why my mother, she's like, you know what, Jordan, what I would do if I were you in your position, I would track my ovulation. I'm like, okay, yeah, and then what? She's like, and then I would go out there and I would just find a random man and have a baby with him. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's advice. That's definitely some advice. You realize you're giving this advice to your teenage daughter? You want me to go get knocked up as a teenager in the streets? So yeah, I guess that's always an option for me. There go all my worries. Perfect. I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
At this point, your mom is afraid. Maybe for good reason. We all know that parents want grandkids. And with the way that these modern women are moving. with the way that these modern women are moving today, these grandparents or potential grandparents are seeing their hopes and dreams flush down the toilet at an alarming rate that they're just not comfortable with. You need to get it together.